I back? I hope I'm back. I really hope I'm back. Looking like it. Okay. And I realized that my mic was muted. Oh god. After I got done eating, I did also play a couple of games. Not this one, but some other ones. But welcome back, folks, to Unicorn Overlord. In the last episode, we kicked things off. We got done with our tutorials. We somehow allowed Scarlet to get kidnapped. Somehow, some way. And we started going through the tutorials on how to improve our armies. And the first thing I did was buy some equipment. As you can plainly see, I bought 2 recruit short swords, 1 recruit hand axe, and a recruit short spear. These give +3 on HP on each piece of equipment, but also they give 20% increased experience. In the short term, this is really useful. Quick level ups for everyone. Long term, the damage is gonna fall off really easy. And for completing this quote-unquote main quest, we get a novice military treatise, 2 honor, and 500 gold. And we get 5 renown. The renown is going to be useful because the more of that we get, the higher our rank goes, right up until we get to S class. There is also a straight up level cap of level 50. Something I initially got wrong when I started doing my LP, which I do need to do, or rather continue. Now, and because of that, we now have Scarlet in his possession, and he is currently en route to a city where Galerius, the Emperor, is waiting. And in order to find him, we're going to need to locate Miriam. But we're not going to do that right now. In fact, we're going to be a little ways away. We now have the archive, and the archive is per file. Like, I could boot up my private playthrough. Oh, priestess abducted. Okay, well, that's our main quest. In fact, that mark right here, that's where we need to be. And if I remember correctly, the city we need to be is about right here. I know, in fact, it should be right there where I'm circling around. Alright, let's see. Let's start doing some side quests. And they're talking about the gather points that are on the map. Different ones do, different points do give you different items. Ones near the ocean will give you oceanic aquatic life. Ones near rivers and lakes will give you freshwater fish. And patches of grass will give you herbs. Anything in trees will give you lumber. Certain points on mountain sides will give you rocks, and some places that look like they might be a place to mine will give you ore. For now, let's deliver this Corvia herb. We'll get 1 honor, 100 gold, and a revival orb. Not only that, we get access to the port. which is exactly what I want. Rebuilding Fevrith. We'll get 2 honor, another novice military treatise, and 500 gold. Here's our ocean life, which is a sardine. This dig spot right here, since it was on the side of a mountain. Trust me, you're going to want to try and remember some of these. Some of these locations, if you station a guard, which I haven't gotten to yet, I kind of want to get to that at some point. But for now, I'm back on Polivia Island. If you remember, when the tutorial started with Elaine, because it's not Alan, it's Elaine, and I got that wrong. I really do get a lot of things wrong. Well, it's actually very important, especially when it comes to the story. There is... It says in the game that this is going to be optional, but as far as I'm concerned, it's required, because otherwise, if you don't do it, you're going to have a really, really hard time doing the final boss. But this also has something to do with the rapport mechanic. So you're going to want to remember that location. Hi. There's a healing tonic there. This is another sardine location. And since we don't have anything here, I'm going to do the station guard. We'll get various gather points. I want to do both the port and this village here to keep us from running out of sardines at the very least. We'll also earn gold as we go, so not just completing side quests and main missions will give you gold and honor. Stationing guards will give you gold and the foraging sites. Not only that, it doesn't matter where you station them, they're going to be able to just magically teleport to your side for battle. So I'm going to have Chloe here. And I'm not going to do this mechanic because it's kind of pointless, but it also helps with the rapport. Mainly it's for rapport with Elaine. Give me that chicken. And you basically just have to touch the chickens. You don't have to actually press any sort of button to get them. You just have to touch them. Ah, you little shit. Alright, let's back away. Let's start this over. Where is he? Where is he? Did I not go far enough? Probably not. There you are. Get over here. Thank you. And that's all of them. And for that, we get a golden egg accessory, an honor point, and a free meal ticket. That will come up later. Not too much farther later, but later. Alright. So. Now I need to go back to the port. I'm going to station a guard here so I can get all of the gather points here. And I'm going to have Hodrick. And then we're going to board a ship. Yeah, okay, I don't care. Thank you. Alright, this guy. Let's see. Station guards, I've already done that. So we'll get 3 cut flower gifts, 2 honor, and 500 gold again. Anyway, okay, something I need to do because I've been putting it off is I need to do my equipment setup. that. Lex is going to take the recruit short sword. You're going to take the spear, even though you already have a charm. She's already going to get a 50% increase on the experience, which means she'll be leveling up a lot faster. But I still want her on the spear because she's going to be more useful than probably, say, Hodrick for now. Because her use is more so in her skills. As you can see, right now, she has a long thrust skill. She'll have Javelin, which is a throwing skill at level 10. And right now, her passive skill is First Aid, as well as a Valor skill in Life Aid. The First Aid skill, as you've probably seen in the last stream, she heals at the end of battle. Or rather, at the end of battle. I'm going to start calling the actual battles encounters. And the one-on-ones for units, battles. This is going to be a very, very long war that we're going to be waging to liberate the entire continent, all 5 nations. At level 15, she's going to get Keen Call, which gives a 100% critical hit rate, a critical rate for an ally's next attack. This means that having her paired with someone like Lex, who already has a low crit rate right now, benefits from this. Also, as you can plainly see, he's got a potion next to his physical attack stat. This is the amount of times you put a kind of do onto a character's specific stats, up to a maximum of 5 per stat. Now, as for this... Oh, right. This, that side quest talks about the mock battle sparring session. So, you're going to want... I'm just going to do Joseph and Lex to just basically show it off. Joseph is really powerful because he's, like, level 20 right now. And because of that, this is going to be a breeze. You only need to do this once in order, like, period, just to get it over and done with. And that's basically it for that side quest. There is another thing here. These are kind of sparring matches that tell you how certain classes work. Pardon me. Alright, I'm back. Alright, anyway. Like I said, these kinds of matches, they tell you how certain classes work, what they're known for, and kind of how you can counter them. Like, in this case, just having 3 people, like, say, having Chloe... I might as well just show you. Yeah, and after you beat them, you get some money. So it's always a nice idea to kind of do them as you go along, especially if you're strapped for cash. There's our forest. Another. Remember the divine shards for later. I know I've probably glossed over them a little bit, but they're useful, especially for getting a particular character. I'm gonna have Joseph here so that he can get all those. I'm gonna head down this way because one, we get a cutscene, and two, there's actually 2 characters we can get. One of them just won't be able to get until later. Yeah, we also have a bit of a bandit problem. He says that, and yet... I mean, par for the course. But remember Gamel for later, not just after this battle, because there's something in my LP that I did wrong that I didn't know about until after I did my private playthrough. Again. Also, we have our first ranged unit named Rolf. Yeah, villages are being beset by a pack of bandits. Rolf comes and saves people, and now they want to try and return the favor, but they can't because they're ordinary civilians and don't know how to fight. So they're looking for aid wherever they can, and in this case, we just happen to show up. Convenient, isn't it? But yeah, this counts as a side quest, even though it's got this kind of flag. Let's see. Do I have enough for... I do, actually. Hang on. Hang on a moment. Let's see. I want... I'm gonna have Elaine's unit upgraded. Because I want to get Travis in on this. Never been much of a fan of thieves in general, but lately when it comes to any sort of playthrough with evasion as a factor, thieves have been fantastic frontline guards. So having not only Hodrick, but Travis here has been fantastic. And yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. Anyway, we are on to the Solitary Resistance.
確かロルフという者が助けてくれたのだったな。はい、コルニア義勇兵と名乗っておられました。義勇兵。噂は聞いたことがあります。民を守るために戦っているとか。合流できれば戦力になってくれるかもしれないな。ええ。まずは接触してみるのが良いかと。
I agree.
お兄ちゃんたちも怪我しないでね。ああ、大丈夫さ。
And again, localization issues. If you know a little bit of Japanese, you know what it is they're actually saying rather than the quote-unquote translated version is. Yeah, you guys have trouble now. Now, have their weaknesses still. In fact, the Thief has 2, I believe, weakness types. And right now they're going to talk about how to recruit certain characters on the stage itself. In this case, when it comes to Rolf, you just need to get someone like Elaine over to him and talk to him. There's a special dialogue. A lot of the comparisons I'm going to make with this game is going to be very equivalent to Fire Emblem of the Nintendo IPs. And therefore, it essentially means that there's going to be a lot of similarities. You've probably already seen the similarities as is, especially when it comes to stack roads. The way that Unicorn Overlord does it is relatively similar to how Fire Emblem does it. Although the difference between the two is, if you look at Fire Emblem's stat growth charts, it's based on a percentage and not a rank, like Unicorn Overlord. I'm just gonna skip that. Yeah, because of the fact that in addition to a Thief's naturally high evasion, they can also evade to dodge incoming attacks. This is true when it comes to the differences between evasion and accuracy. However, the Hunter's skill Eagle Eye provides a true strike attack, allowing them a guaranteed hit even against foes using evasion, like the Thief. This makes Hunters and another class that we'll be getting we'll be getting later very useful, and I'm going to show you what the game means when it says True Strike. That was a True Strike. What happened with Rolf is he had the Eagle Eye skill, which a lot of archers have, and this gives them the ability to hit their target no matter how high their evasion is or what skills they have that provide the evasion. Yes, and thank God they did, because otherwise we probably would not have gotten to you. Yep, and with that, we now have Rolf. Hunters can directly target enemies in the back row, so single out back row support classes to gain an edge in battle. And now we get a tutorial on how assists work, which is something Fire Emblem doesn't do a whole lot, if at all. Where your units are going to be, in this case on the right hand side, and if you press a specific button, whatever it is, depending on what platform you're using, it's all going to be different. If you press that specific button, your assist class is going to aid you in doing damage, and might as well show off what that means. Yeah. He doesn't have a passive, though. Yeah, I kind of figured. The guaranteed evasion only works if they have the skill evade. Otherwise, it's going to be a chance to hit. Ugh, that's horrible. That is horrible. I would have preferred at least a guard rate. But, whatever. That's fine. There we go. And the problem with using assists is unless you're within a specific object structure that we'll get to later, or at like something like a fort or a town, your stamina goes down. Otherwise, well, oh. Also, on the battlefield, you will come across shining objects. If you pick them up, you will get a item. In fact, there's 2 on the map here. But I'm going to show... Well, I'm going to do this battle. Do that. There we go. And I'm going to garrison this. Take 9 damage. Give 9 damage, take 2. Because the thieves were dumb and decided to go after Hodrick. And our item down bottom is a holy herb. The holy herb restores health after battle, up about 50% of the unit's HP. This, I guarantee you, is going to be far better later, because 50% of your HP now isn't that great, but 50% of your health when you're in the late stages of the game and you have hundreds of points of HP, that is a godsend. An absolute godsend. Now I'm gonna have Lex. No, I don't want that. I want... Okay. So what I just did here is I set a rally point for Lex in order to be able to continue moving and staying out of the way of the town. Because if he goes into the town, he's going to end up going into battle against Gamel, and I don't want that at the moment. In fact, I'm going to put... Oh, right, there's 3, because I keep missing this one. This is an item called a Miracle Fruit. This is an immediate level up no matter what your experience, how much experience you have left. Let's see. It's not going to tell. Oh, right here. Like, say, since I need 124 and I didn't want to wait that long, I could use the Miracle Fruit and go to level 25. No, level 5. Conversely, since Travis is level 2 and still needs 157, I could give him the Miracle Fruit now and get him to level 3. Although, if you think about it, it's kind of pointless to use the Miracle Fruits now rather than saving them for later. So, I'm going to put them under the Too Good to Use club for now. Let's see, Rolf's group is level 3. Joseph has this... Well, Joseph's level 20 and Clive is level 3. Lex's group is levels 3 and 4. The only one who would really need the experience would be Travis. And using 2, because they're under level 10, that's 300 points of experience, and that's a level up. And as you can see, Travis's level up is actually not bad. That means the initiative is basically who's going to go first. It's kind of like having a speed stat in games. I'm gonna just get him to level 4, give him another point, give him a point in evasion, as well as the 19 point, the HP increase. and balance that out. There we go. Another 2 points in damage. There we go. And I'm going to just wait until Lex gets that last item before I take on Gamel. I know this means that this gauge right here is going to fill up and a bit of reinforcements is going to come, but that also means I get some free experience in the meantime. And there we go. The Empowering Drought. The Empowering Drought is a offensive item for one battle. And well, yeah, it increases damage dealt by 30%. So, if we use it now, well, that's the thing I don't get about that. It doesn't really... I don't think it does anything. I think it's a bug or something. Because that should be doing more damage. Or at least showing. Poison Slash. Yeah, Hodrick gets poisoned. Nice try. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of figured. The Sting, that means 2 is dead. That's what I don't like about the Empowering Droughts. And even its opposite, Defensive Drought, doesn't really do much of anything. Time to rest. I don't like using them. Because it really doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. I kind of figured, but you still die anyway. Or at least you get defeated. And Hodrick and Travis are now level 5. That's actually a decent level up. I mean, granted, I could do with physical attack, but that's not bad. His 2 S ranks are more important. Travis getting magic attack and magic defense is not great, at least right now, but I'll take it. And for beating Gamel, we get the Viper Fang Sword, which gives Poison Strike. And, let's see, 69,000, which will translate into 6 honor, 17 points in renown, and 3,400 gold. Almost 3,500. It's not bad. Now. Or a wound, not great. Yeah, but he never gave up. But there's always a price to pay for something like a cure. Now,
殿下、情にほだされてはいけません。この者は自警団に引き渡し、相応の刑に処すべきかと。
we are now presented with a choice. We can set him free, or we can hand him to the town watch. However, I'm going to spoil this now. Gamel is your second recruit, but you won't get him immediately. What you have to do, though, is you have to choose the first option, which is set him free. Yes, and there is a purpose to that. You let Gamel go, and he will actually come back later. Regardless of what you choose, he will end up coming back, but if you choose the other option, he will be an enemy again. Now, however, he will come back in a other side quest. One that'll be in another nation, or rather the land of elves, Elfheim. Or Elheim. I'm sorry, I'm too used to other RPGs and the way they do elves. Although that's not to say that I don't like the elves here. I actually rather do like the elves in this game. And we get hunters. Yep, and he's gonna run that way. If you put him in jail, you would have to go away from the region and he will just... his crew will bust him out. I'm not gonna mince words, that's generally what happens. Cornean trout. I need trout, which means I'm gonna need a river. Or a lake. Well, it's gonna be a while. Alright, now we got this guy. Tells you about hunters. The thing about hunters is they're a little squishy. I won't be able to beat him. What I'm going to do, however, I know that they showed us Hoplite and Hunter, but I'm actually gonna put our newfound hunter in the back in Joseph's unit. At some point I'll probably rearrange everything, but right now I would rather have a defensive wall behind in front of Elaine, since he's going to be doing a lot of damage, over someone protecting a hunter right now. Oh god, I forgot about this battle. Oh no. Okay. Might as well. This is another battle that we're about to get to. But this guy knows Travis, our thief. Travis used to be a part of a group called the Tricorns. But he left. The Tricorns fought Zenora, lost, and you could probably guess what happened. Either A, they all got killed off, or B, as is what the current thing is, he now fights for Zenora. But he didn't do it by getting paid. See, the Tricorns leader has a moral code. So, most likely he had his mind taken. Now the mercenary is gonna run away. He's gonna leave, and now Travis, feeling guilt over leaving the Tricorns, he's gonna want to have a look at what's going on with the Tricorns leader, Bruno. It is a level 4 bout. We're going to be dealing with a new class called the Gladiator. I absolutely hate this class. It is the most pointless class in this game. And you'll find out why once we get our own Gladiator. I do not like this. I do not like them at all.
ブルーノだったか。かつての仲間だと言っていたが。三角獣傭兵団を旗揚げした時の仲間さ。怪力で豪快で頼れるやつだ。トラビスはなんで団を抜けたんだ。姉貴が突然団を解散しやがったのさ。お荷物が多くて身入りが少ないってな。
And we learned that Travis has a sister. I know who his sister is. I've already played this game a few times, but...
中でも特に足手まといが俺だとさ。それで頭に血が上って飛び出しちまった。結局ブルーノが団を引き継いだみたいだけどな。お姉さんとトラビスが抜けてブルーノと部下が残されたわけか。だがゼノイラ軍で指揮官になるとかそんな気質の男じゃなかった。人に利用されるのはもうごめんだってな。それで俺らと傭兵団を旗揚げしたんだ。直接あいつと話をして確かめるさ。ゼノイラの犬になったかどうか。
Yeah. Meaning we're gonna have to fight. And they gave us an entry for someone named Berengaria. I'm gonna spoil it. Berengaria is Travis's sister. And that is a gladiator. We'll have to deal with a few of them. It's not an overly big deal. They're relatively easy to deal with. See, I'm gonna do that. Let's see, I'm gonna have them do that. Now, you'll see why it is I don't like gladiators at all. So, if you look at the total HP, that's about 54 HP. Compared to my, let's see, 64, 99. But that's just, but the 54 comes from the fact that it's 227s. Gladiators are HP only. These stats are abysmal. They are supposed to be HP tanks. The problem with this is look at what their grades for their defensive stats are. Fs and Es. These are bad. If you want them to be HP tanks, you should be able to design them with a bit more defense than this. Like Cs and Ds, please, game. But no, they give the gladiator the Fs and Es. Like, this is gladiators. Both friend and foe alike. I don't like it. The only way a gladiator will work is if you have, like, a bunch of healers, like, behind them. It is abysmal. Quite possibly the worst class in this entire game. Elaine? Nope. I don't want Elaine, I want Lex. Because Lex is gonna need the experience. Magic attack, huh? Could be worse, I suppose. Could be far worse. Like, there are a ton of other classes that are far more useful than the gladiator, and I'm gonna continue bitching about it until something happens. This class is also another one that didn't get shown off because I think this is the only one here. Well, these two. They are Griffin Knights. They are flyers. This is going to be your first encounter with Griffins. Like, I might as well show you. Thing about Griffins is, if you have them as a leader, they're capable of flight and ignoring their flyers. Because of that means they ignore terrain and trap effects. Not a single trap affects them. They're capable of healing, mostly themselves. And their Valor skill increases their movement speed on the battlefield itself for about 30 seconds. But also, they do a lot of damage to an entire row. I like this class a lot better. Not only that, they have high evasion, attack, magic defense, and are effective against cavalry. But their one weakness is archers. Any and all archers can practically one-shot them. But this is what you're looking at for Griffin Knights as a standard. Oh my god. It's not anything to write home about initially when it comes to actual stats. However, the fact that they're flyers is what makes them really good. You can ignore the offensive capabilities of this thing. You know, how kind of average their attacking capabilities are. But it's combined with the fact that they are flyers that makes them really good. Now, I'm going to have Elaine go over to this city, and once he's done with that, I'm going to have him continue down south. Yeah, Griffin Knight. Flying units like them are real good at dodging attacks from the ground. Now, like I said, they're weak to archers, meaning if you have an archer, like we do, we can do double damage to them. However, I'm not going to do that. And we get 4,000 gold. I am going to need to buy some more equipment and even some items. Now, you notice since I didn't fully... well, actually, I kind of showed this off in the last stream, didn't I? Yeah, see, yeah, they evade, or they're capable of evading, but they're not a guaranteed evasion. So it's not really a huge deal if you miss or not. You'll still be able to continue going. Ooh, 21. Okay. Yep, 9 and 12. It kind of figures. Do I have... I probably don't. 17. Yep, 12 and the 5. That's... Oh, never mind. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Elaine is probably going to be there a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Valorous Order, because otherwise he's going to take longer. Valorous Order works. The empowering drought and the defensive droughts apparently somehow don't, and I don't understand that. Because I never see an actual difference. In fact, I'm gonna have Lex there. Elaine is going to do 36 points of damage, meaning the entire front line is gone. But this also means he now has to rest, and I don't like that because that means that those guys are going to come right back. Yeah, 16 points of damage. Like, if I try this again, that's 16, and it's now 19. So it does increase a little bit, but not a whole lot, and I'm not a fan of that. $25 and heal for 2. And there we are. The town is taken. And now I'm going to have Elaine go all the way down and take care of this archer. Meanwhile, Joseph is going to capture this town. And we just had reinforcements come from 2 different locations. Ooh, smoked nut. Let's see. Yeah, garrison effects. While garrisoned in towns and other facilities, a unit will recover HP and stamina at fixed intervals. You can also revive units that have lost all 8 of their individual HP. This is actually fantastic, though. Now, this House Carl is about to actually come face to face with Elaine. And he's going to lose a lot of HP, actually. Now, as for this smoked nut, it restores 1 stamina to the entire unit, which is fine. It's not fantastic, but 1 additional stamina is better than, like, getting nothing. Now Elaine is level 6. We are getting close to the soft level cap, I'm going to call it, which is usually about 3 or 4, I think it's about 4 levels past the initial battle level, or the average battle level, which is, in this case, level 4. Like, every unit here is level 4, so the average... Well, except for Bruno. Bruno is level 6, but that don't matter. Oh, and that House Carlin is unit 4. Heal for 1. Ah, because Hodrick took 2 damage. That's fine. There we go. Since Lex is at that bridge, he's gonna not lose stamina since he's garrisoning. Meaning he can still continue. That Griffin Knight, however, I'm gonna need to take care of him real soon. Hang on. No, I want that first. Which gives Liquid Fortune, which doubles gold and experience gained. In fact, I'm actually going to use that now. I like using Liquid Fortune. Especially since it's not just for 1 battle, but for like 20 seconds. Meaning I can keep going. Right up until that timer runs out. Yeah, I'm gonna give that to Travis. He's gonna need that more. 6 to 3, probably because of the evasion. And then 12 to 3. Frick. And I don't have another smoked nut. Well, that sucks. That thing is gonna run out right as soon as I get done resting. Damn. Yeah, that sucks. But, luckily, I can do Royal Order and still get the increased experience. Not only that, but now, this is going to be a death blow to the unit, and we heal for 6. That's so bad. Just HP. What the hell? I'm just gonna sit right there. And then I'm going to have Elaine go to the next location. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. Now, I'm going to put Lex there, and I'm going to have Joseph garrison there, because I want Lex's unit... Honestly, I want Lex's unit to gain levels from this point on. So I'm going to have Elaine do the garrisoning of the bridge, which means any reinforcements that come around, he's going to be taken care of. I should also try and hurry up, too, so 5 to 30, well, 32 to 5, that's fine. Yep, heal for 5. 43 to 4. Or rather, 43 to heal 4. Alright, that's good enough. I'm starting to run low on time, so definitely gonna want to get Lex to hurry the fuck up. But before I do, he's gonna get the increased experience from Elaine, as well as the Valorous Order. I really hope I didn't fuck up on this. So, just in case, I'm gonna have Lex level up now. 97 to heal 1. Okay, everyone else gets a level up. That's defensive in nature. Aubin getting an offensive upgrade is fantastic. Please. Ah! Alright, I'm gonna have to try that again. Retry from the autosave. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to change things up. Yeah, I kind of figured, okay. No, I'm not gonna do that. 11 to 1. $16 to 2. $10 to nothing. Which is honestly surprising, but anyway. 19 to 1. Jeez. Alright, I'm gonna have him go over there. 22 to heal 1. Not bad. Joseph? Nope. Alright, I'm just gonna have Joseph's unit do this. I didn't want to, but at the same time, it's like I need to. There we go. Yeah, we've already seen it, and we get the smoke nut. And we get the tutorial again, even though we don't need it. I'm gonna have Joseph go down. Because he's gonna be able to deal with these guys a lot better than currently. I'm gonna have him the rest this time. In fact, I'm gonna have both of you guys rest now. Because it's not gonna really matter. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's see what the empowering drought does now. That was 26 and 49. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. There. I guess they do work, I'm just not using them right. Also, yeah, watchtowers, much like a actual garrison, like a fort or a town, they don't let stamina drop. The advantage to watchtowers is for ranged units or even healers as a main party leader. They increase the range in which they can actually utilize their abilities, especially for their assists. Why did I do the battle? Can I not? In fact, since I have the liquid fortune and I have plenty of time to do it. Yeah, that's not happening. Give that 2 to heal. Yeah, not great. Alright. Now, Lex is gonna go here. Because Elaine can actually do this himself. In fact... yeah, that's not a great level up. $13 to heal 1. And since I kept the smoke nut, I'm just going to use that instead of giving a rest. And that's the reason why. He's not going to be able to utilize that anymore. And we get the revival orb for Lex. In fact, Lex is going to go down. Yeah, I'm going to skip the cutscene. 47. Let's see, 32 to 25. Get that. Gets the stamina back up to 6. And finally, 70 to heal 6. And that is fantastic for all 3 of them getting a level up. There we go. And for beating him, we get the Brown Beret, which increases physical attack by 8%. It's actually pretty good. Like, all around. Granted, there's going to be better stuff that we'll be able to get later. Like, much better stuff at a later date. But, now, we are rank D with our renown. Now, what does this mean? Well, yep. Says all that. I'm pretty sure Travis just called him an idiot. Though it's not like he was in the wrong. I mean, he is kind of stupid. Yeah, I've got plenty of safe spaces. Anyway. For all that, we get 3 additional honor for beating those guys. We get a recruit's short sword, a light feather, and the Tricorn Mercenaries banner, which I'm not even going to bother with. I don't bother with the banner stuff. Gladiators are powerful warriors capable of hitting an entire row of enemies with a single swing. This is one of their advantages. I still don't fucking like them. Like, at all. The gladiator's high HP lets them bear enemy attacks in the front row, while the soldier can heal them using the first aid skill. This is what I mean when I say you basically need someone with a healing skill. Like, actual healers. Chloe is nice early on, but I use her more for Lex. Oh. Also, since we got our renown up to rank D, we can now hire mercenaries. As well as being able to increase our unit slots. which honestly I'm thinking of doing. Report conversation icons. An icon will be displayed in the overworld when a report conversation becomes available. Meaning, this basically pops up when you actually get a report conversation for the to pop up for the first time at a at a fixed location, not random. Now, we say that. Here we go.
私をさらってどうするつもりなの？
ここに連れてこられた理由は分かっているのではないか？
何も協力する気はないわ。
お前の意思など関係ない。しかしオドリックが島に向かったと聞いた時は焦ったぞ。ガレリウス様から褒美をいただくのはこの俺だ。抜け駆けなど許せん。お前をどう説得して島から連れ出したかは知らんが、奴の目的も俺と変わりはない。助けなど期待しないことだ。
彼らはきっと助けに来てくれるわ。
強がっても無駄だ。傭兵どもが始末をつけている。だが安心しろ。役目が終われば解放してやる。それまでおとなしくしていることだ。
Yeah, Scarlet is still in prison, but she's not at the location where we're going to need to be. Now we have two conversations that we can do. One for Hodrick and Elaine, and the other for Lex and Chloe. In fact, if I go to the report conversations, which we can basically see at any other point in time, we see that we need to go to the walled city of Yukwit for Hodrick. As for Lex and Chloe, the garrison north of the walled city of Yukwit, which is going to be where we get another character and another class later. And actually one of my top 5 favorite classes. There's, Wind Fairy's Charm. I should probably go over what that does. That charm prevents assist attacks. This goes for actual attacks as well as assist healing. Anyway, now that we have this, time to deliver some things. The iron ore and the cornet lumber, which we need. This harbor. Also, I see that item there. Yeah. 10. We're gonna board a ship to the secluded shore. And it's this shore right here, where we get a divine shard. We get our first, what's called a hallowed or corn ash, which can be used during a battle stage to revive a defeated unit or recover valor points. Or you can also use it to avert a game over when the time limit expires. Your command post is claimed by the enemy, or your army is defeated. And that's where it's going to be the most important, is preventing game overs. We also got a Duo Vitality and 2 more Divine Shards, making a total of 8. The Duo Vitality is basically HP. As for the HP, I think I'm gonna give it to Elaine. He's probably not gonna need it, but it's always nice to have extra. Now, as for that item in the back, I know there's a way. There we are. Sometimes you're not going to be able to see it, but sometimes there's like hidden pathways to various items and whatnot. So always explore. You never know what you're going to find. Oh, also, these little non-ruined water wheel buildings, they give you different items depending on where you are, or maybe they're just random. I'm not quite sure myself. But also, sometimes some of these little watchtowers will also have items, usually like pieces of equipment. Like if we go down to here and look at this ruined tower, Lex goes up, he finds something, comes back down, and he shares with the rest of the class. In this case, we get an accessory called the Watchman's Lantern, which prevents blindness and burning, all status ailments. By the way, since I have other things that I need to use, the camping set that we got from one of the other towers, the watchtower, is a free revive, 30 HP heal, and grants 2 stamina. It's actually, camping sets are not bad, like, at all. Keep them on hand no matter what. Let's see, I want to give the Viper Fang to Travis. As a thief, he'll make use of it far more than anyone else. Oh god, right. Bruno. Not a fan of Bruno. Might as well. Yeah. I'm basically just gonna do that. Get 2,000 additional. Get this. And now we have Hire and Dismiss. There should be a side quest involving that. I think. Could have swore there was. Oh. But if we go this way... Ooh, yes. Judging by the crest emblazoned on her shield, I expect she is an angel of the Pelagian Orthodoxy.
パレビア正教では神の使いとされております。
貴様たちは何者だ？
私はコルニア王家の騎士ジョセフ。こちらは解放軍を率いておられるアレイン王子です。
何？解放軍だと？それはジョセフ殿の名は祖国でも耳にしたことがある。
And also, yes, Joseph is actually... In his youth, I imagine he was, like, at least in his level 40s. So, age probably halved that. Hence why he's level 20.
各地を巡り、回収した天のかけらを馴染みの司祭に預けていたのだが、その司祭のいる論毛と教会が黒爪盗賊団に占拠されてしまった。私が目を離した隙にだ。すまない、取り乱した。嘆かわしいが、司祭を救おうにも私の部隊だけでは心もとない。
黒爪盗賊団、ギャメルがいなくてもまだ悪事を働いているのか。とても放っておける状況ではないな。我々も協力しよう。
まるで天の助けのようだ。アレイン殿に感謝する。
Pretty damn close, actually. But her name is Oclis. She is a part of the Heaven's Wing Knights. of the orthodoxy. And much like Griffin Knights, she is also a flyer, but also at the same time, I kind of like, she's also among my top 5 favorite classes, and we'll get to see more of them much later. For now, we're going to be helping out. Our main enemy classes are going to be the Hunters and the Fighters.
Oi, Mandoran. 解放軍って連中が乗り込んできたぞ。もう引き上げないか。教会に踏み込むのって罰当たりだ。天のかけらがまだあるはずだ。もっと探させろ。そうは言っても、あの天使の女も戻ってくるかもしれねえぞ。構いやしねえ。空飛ぶ獲物なら天使も鳥も変わらん。この弓の餌食にしてやるぜ。
オクリース様に弓を引くなど、天使様は神の御使いなのですよ。
何が神の使いだ。だったらその神にでも祈ってるんだな。
Yeah. Now, until now, we've not had an actual dedicated healer. But that will soon change. The archers on the opposite shore will likely pose quite the nuisance. Now, the main role with Oculus is she's going to be dealing with the archer towers. Yes, despite the fact that she's a flyer and she'll have received double damage from them, she's actually pretty swift. Not only that, her unit comes with 2 frontline fighters, the soldier and the, oh god, what class was it? The soldier and the fighter. Wow, I've already forgotten half this shit. Anyway, I'm gonna have Oculus, Alain. I'm basically gonna have everybody out here. In fact, Joseph's gonna have a very unique role in this, in that I'm just gonna have him take that.
Yes.
Let's see, we'll get 3,000 for free. 10 to 5. Alright. Now, for Joseph, I'm actually going to have him joining the fray. Because of the fact that we have cavalry units on the field, they're going to be able to just do a side job and come right back into the battle. Ten to 3. Thank God for that. 20 to 7. There we go. The thieves are dealt with. One thing I don't like about that I don't like about enemy thieves is they have a penchant for stealing your gold. And if you don't take care of them real quick, like, they can and will run away with your gold, basically turning you broke. 20 to 11. Oh, yeah, they kind of did a number on Travis, huh? No, I'm just gonna have these guys finish it up. There. Nice. Evasion, accuracy, and physical attack, along with the HP, but the HP is usually a given. In fact, I'm gonna have Lex over there. And as for Oculus, I'm gonna basically have her collecting these. And then going to this. Oh, right. I forgot about this. Okay, well. Nope. Where's... Nope. There we go. Joseph is going back and dealing with these guys. Bar none. A free healing tonic. Oh. Provoke. Well... Yeah. Fall victim to such an obvious taunt, and yet they no longer heed His Highness's orders and instead march directly for the one provoking them. Yeah. The provoke skill will draw targets towards the user. The skill's effect will expire if the user's unit is defeated. It's really good for people to have this if you have, like, really tanky people in that same unit, because it means they'll last longer. And I can't do anything about that. Frick. Well, that's gonna be what Chloe's Valor skill is gonna be for. And this is what I'm talking about here. The plunder skill. They steal gold. They're gonna fuck right off. $11 to 3. And let's see. Here we go. Revives all incapacitated combatants to 1 HP. There we go again. This time they took 1,068. The fuck out of here. Give me back my money. Give me back my money. And also give me the level up. Thank you. Nice. That, not so much. But at least we got the money back. I would rather have that. 19 to 1. Ah. Not a fan of that, but eh. Lex is gonna take this guy down. I'm gonna have you take that so that we can get some more stamina. Oculus gets the empowering drought. In fact, Joseph is gonna move on. Liberation's almost here. Well, guess what, folks? You're gonna lose a lot of units. See? Told you. You're gonna lose some people. Heal for 3. Ah, that explains why. Okay. Now, Oculus should be able to take care of this guy before he actually becomes a threat to everyone. There we go. In fact, I'm gonna have Oculus... Ooh, do I want to do that though? That is an awful lot of people there. So I think I'm gonna do this to supplement. go. Yeah, that'll work. That should do it. In fact, 49 to 24. Yeah, there we go. And 55 to 3. Well, I kind of wanted Oakless to finish him off. So, let's do that. I wouldn't exactly call Oakless a kid, but then again, guess it don't really matter. And for that battle, we get a flame bow, which applies burning on hit. And we now have 30 honor, 174 renown, and 29,990. 教会で天のかけらを集めてる話を聞いて魔が差しちまった。妹のために金を？どこかで同じ話を聞いたような。命惜しさに見えすいた作り話を処刑していいの？アレイン。Now, much like with Gamel, we have a choice. If he gets executed, you will not be able to get him. So, like with Gamel, you have to set him free. He will come back in the same battle as Gamel as an ally. There's also an added effect to Gamel and this guy. そういう事情なら今回だけは見逃してやろう。Mandarin. さすが王子様は違うぜ。こいつはありがてえ。In fact, these two are going to show up in the battle as allies in the same unit as another character that we'll be coming across later. All three in Elheim. It's going to be quite the sight, too. But anyway, immediately, 解放軍の方からお話を伺いました。オクリース様が私のために助けを呼んでくださったと。預かっていた天のかけらは無事です。そんなことよりすまない。お前を危ない目に遭わせてしまった。いえ、いいんです。むしろ今回のことで私の迷いも吹っ切れました。世界から争いをなくすにはここでお祈りしているだけじゃダメ。Yeah. 自分の足で立ち上がらないとですね。お前がそう決めたのなら止める理由はないな。アレイン様、お願いがあります。私も解放軍に参加させていただけないでしょうか。アレイン、彼女はこの辺りでは指折りの癒し手だ。きっと解放軍の力になるだろう。And I'm just gonna accept it because we definitely need a dedicated healer. In fact, Sharon is a damn good one. こちらこそ歓迎する。嬉しいです。必ずお役に立てるよう頑張りますね。Yep. But there's another thing about this. And I don't just mean getting 4 honor for letting those guys live and then them fucking off later. We get the bronze bangle, we we get another holy herb, we get the Pelagian Orthodoxy banner. For completing this quest, 15 renown. We get Sharon in our party, which is cleric. Clerics specialize in supporting allies with healing magic. Position them in the back row to have them aid allies from relative safety. In fact, the fighter and the cleric is a good one because the fighter can defend the back row with arrow cover, while the cleric can heal the fighter's wounds. But that's not why I'm gonna keep. But that's not why that's not the unit I'm gonna put her in. To put bluntly. But this is the thing I'm talking about. If you remember all those divine shards we've been coming across, Oculus is still looking for them. And if you get a specific amount, there's a reward for doing so. I'm going to accept the quest because, like I said, it has to be a specific amount of divine shards. And she gives us, for accepting, 3 due of vitality, 3 due of strength, 3 due of protection. The Angel's Request, and I might as well use them now. I've already done due of vitality on Elaine once, so I might as well do it the other 3 times. The due of protection is physical defense, which, honestly, if I'm going to be having Bruno, even if temporary, he needs that. The due of strength is going on Lex, because he's also going to need that. But we now have a divine shard shop. Now, I could get some of these, which give physical defense and guard rate. But right now, I don't really need that. And also, we have Joseph. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to spend all 10 of my divine shards on Hallowed Cornash. These are far more useful. And because we spent 10, we'll get more access to items in the shop. Sharon also comes with her own side quest involving these cemeteries all across the continent in different nations. There's about, I believe, 4 in each nation. This helps with the rapport for Sharon and Elaine. And should be... Oh, right. If we go through that cave, we'll come out this side, and we'll be able to get another divine shard. That's another free Hallowed Cornash. I know for a lot of people that are watching this, they're probably like, well, why are you spending it all on Hallowed Cornash? You could be getting other things too. Well, yes. But to me, the Hallowed Cornash is more value. It has more value. Because you're definitely going to be using these a lot. The dues are fine for boosting your stats. But you only get to use a maximum of 5 per unit of each type. And also, there's this thing down here that you could potentially wait until much later when you've got, like, we spent 90 divine, a total of 100 divine shards. Which boosts all stats. But I suppose I could just at least do 1 more duo strength and put it on Lex. There. Now he can't get any more duo of strength. The only way to improve his strength now, well, his physical attack now, is to get the last due, which is all the way down at the bottom or wherever they become available. Now, if I remember correctly, Ah, right. This place. Seeing so much as a hair of this so-called aged witch. We're about to come across a new class. And we'll just have to keep looking. Round up every witch in the village if you have to. Now, you've probably noticed, why is there a cat in front of this fort? Well, it's not every day you get stared down by a cat. No, but that was no cat. You don't look like any of the Zenoirans I've ever seen. Not actually. And who might you be? Yana, a witch from the marshland hamlet ahead. Say your name is Yana? Well, yes, Hodrick, she did.
なるほど。そのいでたち、そしてその名前。先々代の王に仕えられた宮廷魔術師ヤーナ様のご子孫とお見受けした。
まあ、そうね。孫みたいなものよ。
懐かしい。幼い頃、ヤーナ様には随分世話になったものです。まさかその
I gotta keep my mouth shut. I gotta keep my mouth shut for those who have never seen anything of this game.
年老いた魔女を捜索していたが。
ああ、私の里の長ね。捕まらないよう隠れてもらっているの。でも里の方はゼノイラ兵に制圧されてしまって。
そんなことが。
お願い、私の里を救うのを手伝ってくれないかい？
ああ、放っておくわけにはいかない。協力させてもらう。
Ooh, before I continue on, there's actually something I forgot to do. But, we need Yana, but I am going to be getting Yana. She is recruitable, and she is necessary. At least to me, she is. Let's unlock this unit. And this unit. Next set is gonna require me to be at 15 for honor, but that's fine. And improve this one to 3. Now, Bruno and Sharon. I'm actually going to make Sharon the leader here. And everyone else is okay. I've been meaning to do that. And I know I see that heart up there. I probably should do it. It's between Elaine and Travis, so... Yeah, Travis is also a bit of a bookworm. Let's see. Yeah. Because of the support conversation, Travis and Elaine now have a bit of a bond. You get 2 honor for it, so it's very much rewarding to get these done. Anyway, before I continue into that battle and getting Yana, we're going to get this item here. We're going to get... Oh, nope. Nope. I don't want to fight you. We're going into a level 5 battle. So we might be just a tad bit over leveled, but that's fine.
ボーモン様、
したローマ城を見つけたのか。
はっ、怪しいものを片っ端から捉えてきました。
若者、ただのばあさんを集めてどうする。もう一度探してこい。
それが保証から報告が入ったのですが、反乱軍と思われる部隊がこちらへ向かってきておりまして。
なんだと。なぜこんなところに反乱軍が。
いかがしましょう。応援を要請しますか。
いや、落ち着け。俺は手柄を挙げる好機かもしれん。
は？
残る魔女はあと一人。じきに見つかるだろう。それに加えて反乱軍の総統も成したとなれば昇進も夢ではない。
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
我々だけで打って出るとしよう。
Now, yeah, the hamlet is divided into two smaller communities, each boasting a bustling little population. We got 2 places to capture. By the way, have you noticed the enemies carrying those massive shields? They might not flinch before a bit of steel, but cast magic their way and they'll crumble at your feet. I'd be glad to prove it if you'll let me handle them. Witches excel at casting magic arts in battle, making them effective against hoplites and other classes with low magic defense. I'm coming, friends. Yeah, I actually like Yana. Despite the fact that she's a witch and she knows how to cast offensive magic, she's more of a... She does a little bit more than that. Let me see. Yeah, like with the witch that you saw in the prologue, she's capable of casting Ice Bolt. She's got Magic Missile, but it's her support skills that you want to focus on. Magic Conferral, which adds magic damage to an ally's next attack, and Focus Sight, which grants an ally True Strike. Her Valor skills are incredibly useful, especially Gravity, which lowers the movement speed of the enemy by 90%, making them very much sluggish. And as you can plainly see by her stat growth, support / defensive in nature, they do have the offensive spells that can do quite the amount of damage. But at the same time, it's like not quite a big deal if they have them. Personally, I like Ice Bolt over Magic Missile, but Magic Missile hits 2 enemies at once. So it's always nice to have that. And all witches have these kinds of skills. There is another support class that we'll get later as part of a side quest that is just as useful. But we'll get to that when we can. I actually want Sharon in the back, because Sharon, being a healer, and especially one as the party leader, will grant an assist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Lex going straight towards this watchtower, along with Sharon. Elaine is going to head all the way down to this hamlet, along with Yana. So I'm dividing my forces up in half here. And this is what happens when you have more than one. You can actually select all of the assists, and it'll affect that one particular battle. And as you can plainly see, we're doing 33 points of damage to 2 hoplites, one in the front, one in the back. And technically, we don't need to use them to finish them off. I'm not even going to waste their stamina here. It's kind of pointless. And Lex and Aubin get a level up. Lex gets magic defense and accuracy. The magic defense at this point in time is going to be far more useful now, since we're now dealing with, going to be dealing with anyone with magic. And the accuracy is just accuracy. It improves your chances of hitting your target. 3 points of damage. There we go. You attack them a certain number of times and they will crumble. Units with House Crawl set as their leader can destroy obstacles more quickly, but there is another class later that can, with a Valor skill, immediately destroy them. One-shot them. But for now, we have to suffer with them. A new item called the Concealing Cloak. I don't use these much, if at all, because they don't really have much of a use for like much of anything, unless you have like really weak characters that you want to keep hidden, because that's essentially what the Concealing Cloak does. Allied units cannot be detected by enemies for 20 seconds. It ends upon initiating a battle, though. So either you want to hide your weakest, or you want to conceal them until you ambush an enemy. And that's really all it's useful for. I'm personally not a fan of it, but I can see why someone would want to use it. Alright, Elaine is level 7, and that is actually a nice level up. And I mean that sincerely, that is actually a very nice level up. And now we get a heal for 4 while dealing 4 damage. There you go. $40 damage to take 3. And now I have to rest. I could, from this point on, just continue moving with Yana, but there's these guys right here. $10 points in damage. 22. Basically, Travis died. Yes, I'm basically just gonna do this. It doesn't matter to me none. $18 to $25. I kind of figured. Again, Travis is gonna die. I can't really do assist attacks at this point because, well, oof. Well, that's 2 damage. That's a loss because they didn't take any. And Arrow Rain. That means everyone took damage there. Yes, please, because Sharon needs to be healed. I know. Once again, that's 2 damage. You're freaking kidding me. I can't do anything about that. It's 17. I'm perfectly fine with that. Yana only takes 7 because of the fighter. Jeez. There we go. Okay, now get down there. Nope. That's not happening. Everyone is dying by Elaine's hands. Oh. Hojer got a level up. That's actually not a bad level up. That's actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. Come on. Alright, you know what? Use this last one. I am gonna have to go back to a town and buy some healing items. And I really should be doing that more. Travis levels up. Magic defense and evasion. Nice. And 22 damage. Okay, so I'm just going to have Elaine rest now. And Yana is going to do her own amount of damage. Ow. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to occur. In fact, I'm going to just use the camping set on them to full heal them. And Lex gets the Empowering Drought. And heal for 7. Now, let's see. I am going to have Lex continue on down here and take this guy out. So that way Sharon can get to the watchtower. Two witches are about to go at it. That's actually kind of funny. And she's not, and Sharon is not following, so let's see. I might as well, for now, put her on that garrison, and you'll understand why it is I like using watchtowers for, like, our assists. In fact, you'll see it more commonly as we progress. Ooh, a free hallowed Cornash. As you can plainly see, that greatly increased the range in which Sharon's healing will affect them. Whereas previously, she wasn't gonna reach at all. But not only that, once they're in a watchtower, they will automatically use their assists. Like, this is her current range right now for Sharon. And if you ask me, that's not bad, but it's not great either. 5 damage. There we go. In fact, okay. Now, Aubin has the Valor skill Vitalize, which gives 2 stamina to an allied unit, including themselves. This is actually really, this is part of the reason why I usually use him. Because Vitalize is actually a really good Valor skill. And now I'm going to have Yana make her way that way, while Elaine is going to take this. And we get the Conveyance Stone. Yeah, we've already been making use of our Valor skills. In fact, now Elaine is going to go this way. Let's see. And yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. 2 damage to heal for 5. And this is why you bring a healer into every battle. Another 2 damage. I know I'm chipping away, but I would rather if they didn't send reinforcements. 5 damage to nothing. And Lex gets a level up. Attack and defense, physical, and initiative. That's actually pretty good. In fact, I'm going to do this. Ooh, heal. That's going to be a draw. And actually, never mind. That's a loss. Okay, well then. Now Lex has to wait. In fact, now we can do a little bit more damage. That's a win. But let's see. I kind of figured that was going to occur. That's a heal for 2. I am not a fan of that. That's a loss. I kind of figured that was going to occur, though. There we go. Heal for 10 and dishing out 11 damage. I am perfectly fine with that. And I mean perfectly fine with that. Because Elaine is actually dishing out far more damage than they are going to intend to heal. Hence why I haven't been putting anything on him. That's 4 damage. Kind of figured that was going to occur that way, but that doesn't mean much to me. Ooh, 60. Okay. Chloe is now level 8. That is a nice level up. Fantastic. Alban. Not bad. Not bad. I'll always take physical damage, or even magical damage. And for beating that knight, that hoplite, we get the Azure Crest Great Shield. This is going to be fantastic for Hodrick, because it gives 50% guard efficiency, and the base passive point is increased by 1. And with that, the battle is over. And now we're at 14 honor, 211 renown, and 36,000 gold. Never could have restored peace to the hamlet without your help. And what of your elder? Is she unharmed? Well, perhaps it's better if I just introduce you. You too, Hodrick. I would never decline such an honor, my lady. But what reason could you possibly have for making me to join? No, for asking me to join. Wow, okay. I can read. You'll see soon enough. Now, come along. About that, Hodrick. No, he is. I don't blame him for not knowing, for not catching on. In fact, I don't think anyone would have been able to catch on if you're not about to reveal it now. Yeah.
その呼び名、まさか宮廷魔術師のイアーナ様。そんなバカ。私が幼い頃にお会いした時はもっと。
I love this. This is a classic. Decrepit, old, antique. Such a form would make it painfully obvious who our village elder truly was, and an awful bother to get around at that. I mean, I don't blame her. She's actually... But then again, let's face it. If any woman had the power to be able to do this, you can bet your ass they would. Yeah, she created a spell to restore her youth. The downside is it decreased her magic. She is now basically in a permanent state of weak magic. Yana. Yes, we recruit Yana. And she is far older than she lets on because of magic. A mustachioed chicken. Okay. I tried to envision that and it's just weird. Yeah.
もちろんです。どこへでもお供します。
そうかそうか。なら来るといい。共に武器など捨てて新しい商売を始めるとしよう。
Spoiler alerts, we are going to encounter him again, and it's going to be quite a while. Now, with all that, eight honor. That was 8 people we got rid of. And we get the Leaf Brooch, Silver Hourglass, and the Witches of the Swamp banner. Plus 20 renown. And we also get Yana in our army. By using the magic conferral skill on the Lord, the witch can make the Lord's lean edge skill also deal magic damage. Yeah, and then we get another cutscene because we recruited a specific amount. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's just how well he knows you. Now you probably noticed he mentioned Scarlet there, and yet the dialogue didn't say anything about it. Alright, deliveries. Oh, I don't have enough meager scrap. Ugh. I need to get more meager scrap. I do need the Cornean Trout, I will say that. Can I? No. Shit. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to start moving some people around. I need to not do that. Okay, so, Hodrick. He's gonna go down here in Sharon's unit, because just having a gladiator on there is not gonna be conducive to my fucking health. Elaine and Travis are going to be in the front, and we are going to have Yana as our support unit. I always love putting Yana in with Elaine because of, like they said, magic conferral also allows you to use your magic attack stat. Which I would rather have that over not having anything at all. God, I can't do anything here, can I? Did I even... I don't think I ever did I? Probably not. Oh, there is a quest here. Let's see... Oh, right, the building an army. This is where you're supposed to hire your mercenary. In this case, it's based upon what fort you're at, because each fort is going to have a different set of classes. You can do the Housecarl, the Hunter, or the Thief. They're all going to, in this case, they're all going to start at level 2. And personally speaking, I'd rather if I didn't. In fact, this one down here is the one I want, because it gives you the Soldier, the Gladiator, and the Griffin Knight. Which I'm going to take the Griffin Knight. And when it comes to hiring mercenaries, you can actually customize them a bit. A character's growth type will influence how their stats improve. So, I'm going to randomize the name. Let's go... Let's see... Oh, there was one I liked. Charlotte, for the name. I'm actually going to go offensive on this. And... Lucky. Base color... It's gonna be... blue. The hair color... gonna have pink. Okay, the accent colors. The copper armor. Or, we can do... This is basically for your armor pieces. I'm gonna have the star iron armor for accent color 1. The feathers... I'm going to have... as white feathers. And this is basically their voices, what they're going to sound like in battle. Yeah, I'm gonna do Noble 1. That's what I'm gonna do. There. And we technically, because of this, get our first Griffin Knight. And we get a Novice Military Treatise, 2 Honor, and 500 Gold for completing that quest, along with 10 Renown. Am I going to be able to actually do anything right now with them? Technically, yes. But because of the fact that she's level 2, it means she's going to have some... we're going to have our work cut out for us. But having a flying unit is always nice, and I always recommend it. Let's see. I know I have some more divine shards, so I should be able to spend them. Never mind, I don't. I thought I did. I must have already spent them prior. There's our Corsite Stone. Let's see. Bellum Goria Hamlet. Oh, right. Walled City of Barbatimo. I still don't have enough meager timber. Shoot. I could have gone with a witch. Trout. Corvia herbs. I don't have enough lumber because I haven't gone up that way. Oh! Trout. Iron ore. Corsite stone. Okay. Berenice. How long do I have? I've been going for quite a while, about almost 2.5 hours. Well, technically 2.5 hours. So I'm going to actually stop here, because there is a live stream in about half an hour that I actually want to watch. And I think I've done plenty. So I'm going to stop here. And the next time I stream Unicorn Overlord, we are going to talk to Berenice and see what she wants. Until then, this is Shadow Zotai signing off, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.